In this video, I'm going to show you how to assemble this ornament that I put together as a kit for part of a swap this Christmas. These were the components of my kit. There is a few cutouts. I had some digital printouts that I did, and there is a gingerbread piece, a sentiment, a Merry Christmas sentiment, and then a bow that we will be using. That will be the back part of our ornament, then some lace to put around. We're going to be using that cotton ball to create a little bit of snow. The tool is going to create a little bit of netting, and then of course our embroidery hoop. We're going to start with our embroidery hoop. We're going to go ahead and put it apart. If you have used one before, you know that it's not that hard, but here I am showing you. All you have to do is twist. What will happen is that top part of the hoop is going to start to loosen up, and then you will be able to pop out that middle section. Eventually, when we are done, we're going to go ahead and fasten it together, but we're mainly going to be working with that part to make sure that everything is within that circle. You can, of course, work without it, but I kept referencing it just to make sure that that outer edge isn't going to block some of my pieces. Now we're going to start assembly. I've gathered some liquid adhesive, and you can use your preference. We're going to take our cotton ball and we're going to start to unravel it and kind of put it apart. What the goal of this is to create almost like snow at the bottom of the ornament, and you're just going to tug on it, make it thin. Maybe some areas will be a little chunky, but you'll just kind of spread it out however you feel you want your snow to look. Again, we want to make sure that it's going to fit within that hoop and how it's going to look, so that's why I keep referencing it and putting it back. Pretty happy with where it's at, and what we are going to do now is then we're going to take some of that adhesive and put it on the back part, on the cardstock itself. So as you can see, I've pulled some of it off just so it doesn't get in the way, but I want to kind of work within that area. So as I apply my adhesive, it's up to you how you want to do it. I didn't want to saturate too much. As you can imagine, I'm going to be pressing down on that, and I don't have full coverage, so I didn't necessarily want to end up with glue all over my fingers. And since we're going to be covering it up as well anyway, it'll be pretty tight. With some of that excess, you may want to go back and add some more, cover up some of those spots that might need it. But again, this is your creation, and you can make it as chunky or as thin as you would like. And as you work through it, once you have found the ideal place, we are ready to just double check. What we're going to also end up doing once everything dries, we're going to cut that excess cotton ball from the end and clean it up. I did use my Distress Oxide to give it a little bit of that antique look and almost like a little baked gingerbread on the edges, and now it's for placement. I do use the hoop continuously. As you could tell, if I just placed that there, it would have been hanging off the edge of it. So I went ahead and left the hoop in place so that I can work my pieces within that view once again, and then figure out exactly where I wanted my pieces. Once I made a decision, I also wanted to add a little bit of dimension. So in this case, what I decided to do is this piece that I'm laying down, I just put adhesive on the back and I'm laying it down flat on my ornament. I will be creating some dimension with the next few pieces. One of the things that I did do is I used a combination of foam stickers and then also some board, so some chipboard, mainly because I did want that thickness of the foam board, and because I wanted that brown gingerbread house to stick out the most, and so that is what I decided to use for it as I placed it. And then what I did with the snowman is I just placed it slightly in front of it, again just trying to give my ornament a little bit of dimension. So this is completely up to you where you decide to place the ornaments. As you could tell, like I mentioned, I just lightly wanted that snowman in front of it, so I didn't really use anything other than the little bit of glue in front of it, but I do want to make sure that I adhere it, so I do go back and add some foam pieces to the back of that snowman to make sure that it will be reinforced, and went ahead and placed everything down. You just continuously want to make sure that everything is within that hoop. In the end, that is our main frame, and that is what you want to make sure that you are referencing. We are now going to proceed with our hot glue gun, and we are going to put that around the hoop, and this will adhere to our cardstock base. You would want to make sure you work quickly so the glue doesn't dry, and once you have set it in place, we are going to take our tool and put that over our hoop. That's going to create a little window. You are going to take that piece that we removed earlier, and we're going to place it over to make sure that it hugs our base, and we are going to tighten it back up. We are then going to remove all the excess tulle. I like to put it in place before cutting. This way I can make sure that it's all covered, and then I have gone through and trimmed off from there. We are now going to take our hot glue again, because we are going to now add our lace all around the edge of the hoop. I just went ahead and placed mine right on the top part of the hoop, and just started from the top and went all the way around. We're now going to take our long string. This is going to be the hanging element of our ornament. You're going to put it through that middle section of your hoop, and then you're going to pull all the way through and tie a knot at the top. And again, this will be your hanging element, so you can hang it on your wall or your tree, wherever you would like. And once we have that knot in place, what we are going to do is we're going to add our bow and our gingerbread man with our hot glue gun at the top. We're going to take our sentiment, which I've used foam stickers for, and I am adding a little bit of glue, of the hot glue, on those foam stickers to make sure that it is going to adhere down on the wood and the lace part of the ornament. This is just to add a little bit more dimension and make it a little bit more 3D. And there you have it. You have an assembled Christmas ornament, and you're all set. Thank you so much for watching. If you were a part of the swap and you got my ornament, I hope you liked the kit and you enjoyed assembling.